There are moments when a movie trailer doesn't just announce a film, it announces an experience. That's exactly what crossed my mind the moment I watched the trailer for EPiC Elvis Presley in concert. This isn't something that feels designed for a phone screen or a casual home viewing. From the very first seconds, it's clear that this film is aiming straight for the biggest screen possible, and honestly, it looks like it belongs there. Before we begin, would you please support me? Subscribing is free and very important to me. Please subscribe for better analysis and more videos. What makes EPiC so interesting right away is that it isn't trying to be a standard concert movie or a traditional music documentary. This film feels like a creative continuation of Baz Luhrmann's 2022 film Elvis, but with one crucial difference. This time, the spotlight never leaves the stage. Instead of revisiting Elvis Presley's life story or re-explaining his cultural impact, EPiC drops us directly into one of the most intense and defining periods of his career. The focus is entirely on Elvis in the 1970s, during his legendary Las Vegas concert run, a period where everything came together at once: fame, pressure, ambition, exhaustion, and pure musical electricity. As I watched the footage unfold, what stood out most was the sense that this film isn't trying to frame Elvis as a myth or a distant icon. It's trying to put you in the room with him, right in front of the stage, close enough to feel the heat, the tension, and the weight of expectation that surrounded every performance. EPiC Elvis Presley in concert is built from an incredible mix of materials: lost concert footage, rare 16mm film pulled from Elvis on tour, intimate 8mm recordings preserved deep inside the Graceland archives. These aren't images most fans have seen before, and that alone gives the film a sense of discovery. But what truly elevates this project is something much more personal. The film features rediscovered audio recordings of Elvis himself, not interviews, not commentary from historians or critics. Elvis speaking in his own voice, reflecting, reacting, and offering insight into what those years meant to him. Hearing those words changes the entire experience. Instead of watching someone talk about Elvis, you're listening to Elvis talk about himself. That decision alone transforms EPiC into something that feels less like a documentary and more like a time machine. It doesn't feel like you're learning history. It feels like you're stepping back into it. And that's where this film really separates itself from typical music documentaries. There's no attempt to create a greatest hits package, no checklist of iconic moments, no structure designed to summarize a life. EPiC is focused on energy, on presence, on the emotional and physical reality of performing night after night in Las Vegas. These shows were never supposed to last the way they did. When Elvis first booked the engagement in 1969, it was meant to be a short run, a few weeks, a temporary return to the spotlight. Instead, it became a phenomenon, one that lasted more than 7 years and redefined his career. The film captures that evolution beautifully. You see rehearsals where Elvis is playful, focused, sometimes even awkward. Moments where he's clearly enjoying the process, joking with his band, testing ideas. Then the performances hit, and the tone shifts completely. On stage, the pressure is visible. The expectations are massive. Every movement, every note, every second carries weight. EPiC doesn't shy away from that contrast. It leans into it. This is a film about what it means to carry the title of the king while knowing the crown is heavy. The Toronto International Film Festival summarized the experience perfectly when they described EPiC as Baz Luhrmann's return to the world of Elvis through newly discovered archival footage, stripped of modern interviews and commentary. The film lets the images and sounds speak for themselves, and that choice matters. By removing contemporary voices, the film avoids nostalgia traps. It doesn't tell you how to feel. It allows you to observe, to absorb, to form your own emotional connection to what you're seeing. Baz Luhrmann's signature rhythm and visual flair are still present, but this time, he knows when to step back. The archive material does the heavy lifting. The editing serves the performances rather than overpowering them. As a result, EPiC feels raw in a way most music films don't. It captures excitement, exhaustion, joy, pressure, and vulnerability all at once. You can feel how much these performances meant, not just to the audience, but to Elvis himself. And that's why this film feels designed for theaters. This is the kind of project where sound matters, where scale matters, where the collective experience of watching it with an audience matters. Seeing EPiC in IMAX with a full sound system and a massive screen feels like the way it was always meant to be experienced. Neon clearly understands that. The studio is giving EPiC a full IMAX run starting on February 20th, 2026, followed by a worldwide theatrical release on February 27th. That rollout alone signals confidence. This isn't a niche release, it's an event. For music fans, this film offers something rare, a chance to experience Elvis Presley not as a legend frozen in time, but as a living performer in motion. For film fans, it's a masterclass in how archival footage can be transformed into something cinematic, immersive, and emotionally powerful. And for anyone who cares about the big screen experience, EPiC feels like a reminder of why theaters still matter. This is not background viewing. This is sit down, turn off your phone, and let the moment take over. As I watched the trailer, I couldn't shake the feeling that this isn't just a celebration of Elvis Presley. It's a celebration of performance itself, of what happens when preparation, pressure, talent, and history collide in one place. EPiC doesn't ask you to remember Elvis, it invites you to meet him again. And if you care at all about music, cinema, or the energy that only live performance can create, this is one of those films that feels impossible to ignore. I'll be watching this one in a theater, without question. And if this trailer is any indication, EPiC, Elvis Presley in concert might end up being one of the most unforgettable big screen music experiences in years. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments. This is where these kinds of films come to life. Would you please support me? Subscribing is free and very important to me. Please subscribe for better analysis and more videos. Until the next story, stay curious, be critical, keep your eyes on the screen, and remember, every film you haven't seen is a new film.